What is up, guys? FP the Walking Dead. Today I'm bringing my season 5 episode 2 titled Strangers. Was definitely an excellent episode, probably the best slow episode we've ever seen. And a bit of a leaked image and some leaked news. So apparently, wait, I'm just gonna get to it after the video, but let's just start with the review. So basically, Bob was, killed. Well, he wasn't killed in this episode, but he was eaten by the termites. And, the beginning was just Rick looking at, the burning fire at Terminus. He looks back and then, he does that kind of like cool stare thing, you know what I mean, right? Where he like looks back and he's like, I'm pretty sure you know what I mean. But it started off like that. Then they find like a campfire set. They find a campfire set with like bunch of tents, all that crap. And yeah, then they started walking into the woods, trying to search for something. Yeah. So they were searching for something, like finding a sanctuary, maybe a real sanctuary. Then we see Sasha and Bob playing this like game. I'm not even sure what it's called, but like all you hear is like wet socks and all that crap. I don't even know, but if you watch the episode, you'll understand what I mean. So just bear with me. But they were playing that game, and they like kissed like 20 times. Then they walk into the woods, or they're already in the woods, and right after it, we hear Father Gabriel yells, "Help! Help! Please, somebody help!" At first, Rick does not want to go, but Carl influences him and makes him decide to go. So he decides to go, and then they save Father Gabriel from a big rock, which we do not know why he's up on top of it. But then what they do, Father Gabriel's just like thanking them. Rick asks the 3 questions. He's like, how many walkers have you killed? 0. How many people have you killed? 0. And he said, why? And then he said, the Lord prevents us from violence. And then Rick says, we've all done something, which is pretty much a line that I like. And right there you can see, what have you done? So yeah, I think Father Gabriel might be one of my favorite characters. He's actually a pretty funny guy. What happened was Daryl had his like squirrels, and he was like, how come you guys can trust me? Maybe I'm gonna lead you to the trap. Maybe there is no church, and I'm just gonna lead you into a trap and kill you. And maybe there is no church, but you guys know what I mean. But then they get to the church, and Rick, Carol, Michonne, Glenn, Daryl, and I think Maggie, but they all go investigate inside the church. Just before the whole group gets out. Then Abraham decides that he doesn't want to go in the church. He wants to go straight to Washington, and everyone disagrees with him. Everyone says, we're sticking with what Rick says. We're not splitting up again. And that they want to stick with Rick. And all of them say that. Then this is the tainted meat scene. This is the tainted meat scene. This happens later in the episode, but I'll talk about it. But after they enter the church, they all just settle in. And I think it goes to a commercial. Abraham mentions that there's a bus in the back, so they can go head to D.C. and make the dead die, and the living will have this world again. So then Rick starts talking to Gabriel. He's like, how long have you been here? Asking all that questions. He says, where did you get all this food? He said the church had an annual food drive, and we're gonna donate to some people. And That's how he got all the food. And basically he says that there's one place where he can't go because there's like a dozen walkers, and obviously he doesn't do any violence because of the Lord. And yeah. So um Sasha and Bob both volunteer to go. Then I'm pretty sure Rick, and then Rick tells Tyrese if he can watch Baby Judith, and Tyrese basically says yes. And then he talks to Carl, has a pretty emotional speech. He says, "I need to tell you something. I don't trust this guy." And before Rick can say the full thing, Carl says like, "Why?" And then he's like, "You need to listen to me. No matter how many people you have, no matter where you are, no matter what anyone says, no matter what you think, you are not safe." And like Carl just like gives that little nod. And then he says, "It's for Judith, so never let your guard down." So pretty emotional speech right there. Then I think it cuts to commercial. Then they decide to go to the place with the water walkers, and yeah, they decide to go to the water walkers, and they walk in. Rick tells them to stop because he sees the big hole, and then he looks down. There's a bunch of walkers. He says we can use the shelves to block them, and that's what they do. But yeah, so that's all they do. Then we go back to the rest of the group. Carol finds a car, and just talks about what happened with Karen and David and all that. And like she's basically saying Daryl says we get to start over, all of us. And like yeah. So that's basically what he says. And then Bob, they killed all the walkers, or they think that they killed them. Well, Bob sees something, and he goes to reach over for it. Oh yeah, before that, Gabriel sees this walker and gets really scared of it. Maybe he knows this person. We're not sure, but we do find out later in the episode that she was part of the church. And if you don't remember from the comic book based on the story, he knew this girl, and everyone from the church was locked out by Gabriel. And that's why I said you'll burn for this and all that. So that's basically what he's hiding, and he doesn't want to tell anyone. But yeah, so he runs into that walker. He runs to the other side, basically almost killing the whole group. But Rick goes saves him. I actually like that walker kill where he bangs it up against the pipe. Alright, but back to Bob. He reaches over for something, and a walker grabs him down, and then he uses like this huge stick thing to kill it. But we don't see a bite, but we know he is scratched because we find out later in the episode. Well, we don't find out, but it's just because you'll find out. But we go back to the church. Rick asks, "Did you know that person?" And he just doesn't respond. I'm pretty sure he does. And no, I'm 100% that he knows who it is. And basically, that's it. And they're all like having like a family reunion. Not like a family reunion, but they're like all talking, having a good time. Abraham is talking Rick into going to DC. He says, if we get Eugene to Washington, we will make the dead die and the living will have this world again. And then that basically influences Rick. So Baby Judith goes like, I don't even know, like baby noises. And then he said, what was that? He was talking to Judith, and then he was like, I think Judith knows what I'm about to say. And he said, let's go. And then everyone just says, like, yay. Like, he finally agreed. So I think episode 4 will definitely be the group heading down to DC. But there's no cure. Meanwhile, Carol and Daryl go out no, Carol and Daryl both don't go, but Carol goes, and then Daryl finds her, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And she's like next to the car, trying to fix it up and crap. He says, "What are you doing?" And she says she doesn't know. But this could lead up to something. Maybe she's trying to get away from the group because she just can't forgive herself. Maybe something like that will happen. But Daryl tells Carol to leave. But then we hear a car of a noise, and Daryl looks over, and it's a car with a cross on it. And we believe it's the same one. I'm pretty sure it's the same one, but I don't think Beth is in there. It would just be too long for Beth to be in there. And basically he knocks out both of the back taillights, and he says, "Come on, they got Beth." So ultimately leading up that Daryl knows that Beth is not in there because that car's probably going back to like their base or something. So that's probably why Daryl wants to go follow and get Beth back. Meanwhile, tainted meat scene happened this episode, and basically what happens is Bob is walking out of the church. He looks back, he starts laughing, then he goes up to a tree. He starts crying and crying, and then someone knocks him out, what we believe is Gareth, and then basically it's a commercial. Then after that, it's just Bob waking up and Gareth saying like, "Wake up, wake up," and then he says like, and we actually see Martin, who we thought was dead, and yeah, so he says, "I just hope you understand, nothing goes personal about this," and then like he just keeps talking. I can't remember the line, but then it shows like Bob looking down at his leg and it's not there. And then Gareth like takes a bite out of his leg. Oh god, it was so gross. And then we just see like Bob's foot in the fire, which is kind of weird. I thought it was weird. And Bob starts like crying. And then Garrett's like, "Huh." But this part is kind of creepy. He's like, "You're a lot tastier than we thought you'd be." Which is kind of weird. Don't you guys think so? Tell me in the comments. And then basically the episode was over, and then we got the promo, which showed us completely nothing. But the New Zealand promo actually showed Rick and Gareth negotiating, and there's definitely going to be a war in this episode. And I actually watched Clitheroe and Ishmael J. Murray's conversation, and apparently next episode we actually see Noah Cruz, who is actually Tyler James Williams, that one black guy that's at the hospital with Beth. So yeah, and now time for a leaked image that has been leaked of what Jesus is gonna look like. Here you go. Bam. Dude, that looks sick. This is definitely accurate. It didn't say a caption for it that it's Jesus, but it definitely does look like Jesus. Jesus will definitely be in the season. Maybe next season, episode 4, we get introduced with him. But man, this is sick. Now time for some news and some pretty cool things. Well, there's been a lot of leaked image, like a bunch of leaked footage, which I can't seem to find. So I'm gonna contact Ishmael J. Murray, tell him to send me some links of the videos, and once I get them, I'm gonna watch them and I'm gonna do a breakdown for that and the promo. And yeah, and episode 8 was actually leaked on Wikipedia.com. I heard Ishmael J. Murray and Clitheroe talking about it, but I already knew before it. But season 5, episode 8 is titled "Fear the Hunters," which is really, really cool. I can't wait to see that. And apparently some news came out that episode 9 is one of the best episodes I've ever worked on, and that is definitely the Shire Wilt episode. Alright, thank you guys for watching. As always, I'm saying peace. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you enjoy it. Share it, like it, comment, do anything. Thank you guys for watching. Saying peace.